Hi, welcome to Hunting Channel Online's Tip of the Week. I'm your host, John Stallone. This week, we're going to actually not really give you a tip. We're going to do a review on the Mathews chill arts, the Mathews new monster bow. I've been getting a lot of questions about this bow, and hopefully I can answer most of them for you right here. So, I think what Mathews really did here for us is really incorporate a lot of things that I loved, or that I love about their solo cam line. It's a very smooth drawing bow. It feels real comfortable when you're holding against the back wall. 80% let off. Most speed bows are 70, and it's got a 33-inch axle to axle, a longer riser, forgiving brace height of 6 1/8 inches. It's just a really fun bow to shoot, and it's very comfortable, and something about it that I haven't experienced with other dual cam quote-unquote speed bows. And I'm not really going to classify this as a speed bow, but it is a very fast bow. It's certainly not designed specifically for speed. Like I said, it's kind of like a bow that encompasses the best of both worlds. So we decided to run the Chill R through some tests and see where it was, where it came in at. Basically, with a 403 grain arrow, a good hunting weight arrow, it shot 297.9 feet per second, which is pretty darn fast. And like I said, it was really well balanced. We shot it a whole bunch. I put about 250 arrows through it, and it was just consistently just super smooth drawing, and the peak hold weight was only at 16 pounds. It's really comfortable, easy, and where this comes into play, like in hunting, a lot of times you draw back and you think you're going to get a shot opportunity, and you end up having to wait. So you don't want to be holding back a bunch of weight, or you don't want to have one of those really jumpy cams where it just wanted to go. It's the longer you wait, the harder it is for you to make an accurate shot. And we did some tests where I held this back for about 1 minute and 30 seconds and then shot, and I was still able to be very accurate with it. And for me, that's the most important: how accurate and how it's going to perform in the field. We're going to go in and talk to Tony Kuchera from the Arizona Archery Club. It's a top 100 dealer in the country, and Tony probably tunes 20 bows a day. These guys are, the best in the business, and they're definitely the best in the Southwest, and they're one of the top in the country. So let's go in and see what he has to say about the Chill R. Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, bud?
Good
to see you.
So, wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Chill R, get your expertise on it, see what you think. We got a lot of our viewers want to know about that bow. So.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, Tony. Well, we're here at your range. This is Arizona Archery Club, one of the best in the Southwest over here, and tell us a little bit about what you think, and maybe hit us with some technical, because you know me, I'm not a technical guy. Sure. I just know how to shoot my bow.
That's right, and you shoot well. Just to kind of go over some of the technical aspects, and to tell you how much I really like this Chill R, I actually own 2 of them. One I use strictly for hunting, and this particular Chill R I use for a lot of the 3D shoots that we attend around here. So just to kind of talk to you a little bit about this bow, this is my personal opinion, I think this is one of the best bows Mathews has ever made. That's why I own 2 of them. It's just a phenomenal bow. It weighs 3.95 pounds, so you're just under 4 pounds dry without any equipment on it. And that's mainly because of the gridlock riser design. They've obviously cut a lot of weight out of this in comparison to some of the older monster bows.
Right.
So they made it really lightweight. You still have the Monster Series cam system, the dual cam system, which I really like, just for the added speed. And for me, speed means I can shoot a heavier arrow and get away with it, and that's really important when it comes to being able to kill that animal.
Right.
You want that kinetic energy when you mix mass with speed.
Right. More penetration.
Exactly. Yeah. So just some of the aspects about this bow. This is actually an older design, this floating yoke cable system, something that Matt McPherson designed many moons ago, and it is absolutely a phenomenal system. So what this is really designed to do, and you can kind of look at it, if you look at it from this angle, you have this floating split yoke cable system here. And what it's designed to do is actually apply tension equally on both sides. Now what this does is this doesn't completely eliminate cam lean, but it takes pretty much almost all the cam lean out of the bow. So you're not having to worry about twisting this one cable here.
Let me stop you right there. What is cam lean? A lot of people don't know what that is. I mean,
So,
I know what it is now, but you know.
Yeah, cam lean is critical. So if you're looking at the bow from this angle, okay, you might see some cam lean here while the bow's at static rest. That's okay, because a lot of times what happens is once you put this on a draw board and you draw this bow back to full draw,
right,
that cam lean should be eliminated. Okay, that cam should be almost perfectly straight up and down. Critical to dual cam bows and cam and a half bows, because when you have two working cam systems, you want to make sure that they are synced properly, okay, so that they're rotating in the same place every time. And also you want to make sure that that cam lean is taken out, because if there's any cam lean whatsoever, what that's going to do is cause inaccuracies downrange. So absolutely phenomenal bow. My Chill R, okay, the Ibo Specs from Mathews that they produce, that they advertise as 342 feet a second.
Okay.
Mine actually IBO'd at 348. So that 342 I would say is a conservative number, and you know that's kind of a Mathews thing. They want to produce realistic numbers, you know, so that people aren't upset about, you know, my bow didn't IBO at this.
I shoot a 403 grain arrow, which is kind of light, I think, for this setup. But you know, I shot it through the chrono, and we were getting 297.9 consistently. With
a 400 grain arrow, that is phenomenal. To get up to that almost 300 foot a second mark with a 400 grain arrow is phenomenal.
Well, one of the other things that we did, we tested peak holding weight, and it came in consistently right at 16 pounds, which is very darn near close to the 80% let off that they advertise. It's right at 78%, and for me that's really important, because I could draw back my bow earlier and hold and wait for that perfect shot. You know, and you need that to be consistently successful in hunting, because you don't want to get caught drawing back. And I know there was a couple of things that you thought about the bow that were, you know, related to hunting that were really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of them, John, is that the longer the axle to axle, which is the distance between this axle and this axle, the longer that is, the more stability you're going to have in being able to hold this bow up and not have it rock back and forth, which basically makes you a better shooter.
Right.
You know, having a longer axle to axle bow, that's why a lot of the tournament archers shoot, you know, 38, 42 inch long axle to axle bows for stability purposes.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it was a great thing that they went from the Chill, because there's still a lot of people that like those short axle to axles, but then there's a lot of guys like us that like the longer axle to axle. So the Chill R was like you said, a home run in many ways. Just a phenomenal bow.
Well, let's go shoot our bows.
Let's do it.
Too shabby. Not bad at all. So at the end of it all, we came to the conclusion that the Chill R is really just an excellent all-around bow. It's fast, it's smooth, very accurate, and just all the things that we come to love about Mathews. So if you're out there looking for a new bow, the Chill R is definitely a bow that you should take a look at. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you out in the field.